Welcome to Minutes by Minutes. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we're here to talk about what goes on in the village, the township. You know, those various government groups that make laws, regulations, and ordinance that affect you out there.
And whether you live in the village of Oxford, the village of Leonard, Addison Township, or Oxford Township, these are the people that you elected, and the commissions and the committees that make decisions that directly affect you, whether you attended that important meeting or not. And that's why we're here.
And do they ever affect them? They do. And us too, actually. Well, not you. You're from Brandon.
That's right.
It doesn't affect you.
That's right. God's country.
You're trying to direct God's country. You're underwater out there yet, I think.
Nah.
I'm not sure. The little gerbils are going by with their little canoes. But that being said, excuse me, we're going to talk about several items today. And one of them is not a meeting, but it's information that you folks would be interested in knowing from the village of Leonard. And you've got a lot of road construction going on out there, and we'll discuss that a little bit later. We first want to talk about the Addison Township, though, Parks and Recreation. One of my favorites, right?
Oh.
Well,
you can't wait for that next meeting, can you?
Well, they drag all the chipmunks out from behind the trees, and the bears, they scoop behind the trees so that they don't bother the chipmunks. But anyway, the way that works, those people have got it together out there, right?
And what have you got?
Yeah, what I've got. Rod Blazik is the chairperson of this group.
Okay.
Chuck Perenigen, I believe his last name is. I massacre that name.
I'm not going to try that one at all.
Chuck Smith. I think we said last time we would change his name to Smith.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't get any phone calls, so he must figure, well, you know. But
maybe his wife said, wait a minute, that's a lot easier.
Yeah, he's a very mechanical guy. He's the guy that provides the minutes. And
okay.
Of course, the first thing they did is they read the minutes after the Pledge of Allegiance.
That's right. They read the minutes. They really read the minutes. They just don't say, yeah, pass it on.
They do. And they read those minutes from by Chuck and went over that rather quickly about 2 hours later. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't that long.
Dramatic.
Right, it was dramatic. Supervisor Pearson was there, Bruce Pearson, and he gave a report, and he said that 2.5 acres were donated on the south side of the road on what is Haven Road, which is connected to Watershed Park.
Oh.
So they're going to actually expand the Watershed Park. You folks out there will see this in the Oxford Leader newspaper. I think they had an article on that as well.
The new annex.
The new annex, yeah. So it'll be a nice addition to the park. And Bruce said also that the owner was Jim Fitzpatrick that donated the property, so great job. But he did it as kind of a trade-off. He's getting some tax help for other properties that he has as an exchange for some of the money that the property would have cost. I think it was going to be like around $60,000. I think he reduced it considerably because of the tax roll thing that he was able to work out.
To the long-term benefit of Addison Township.
Absolutely. And boy, I tell you what, those folks out there, they negotiate. Wheel and deal is what you call it. But anyway, they negotiate, and they negotiated this quite well, to the delight of both parties in this case. Then he said, well, you remember those light poles he said we were supposed to put at Arnold School? They said, yeah, I remember that. Right?
That's a perennial favorite with you.
It is. Are they going to get lit? Yep, they're going to get lit. And he says, when? Okay, when are they going to get lit? Next month, he said.
We're hiring a lamplighter.
Right. But there's lots of things they need to do before they do that. They, of course, have to lay all the cables, to get there.
How many poles are there?
There's going to be 2, I think, at that location. Okay. And they're free. Didn't cost you folks anything out there, and that was through the
midnight requisition.
The generosity. Yeah, the nighttime requisition from Bruce Pearson and his illustrious hidden crew. Bears behind trees. You use those for some reason. But anyway, so you're going to have that area well lit. He said also for Lake George, the garage doors will be installed too pretty soon. Okay. And so that should enclose that barn that they've got issues with. It's an open barn right now. Right?
It is? Well, it's breezy.
It is breezy, yeah, breezy, both ends. So anyway, so that's going to be done too, so they're making some progress. Great job out there, Bruce Pearson, supervisor of Addison Township. Bills? Are there any bills? By golly, there is. $73 and I think 98 cents.
They keep doing this, they'll break the bank.
They could break the bank. I don't think they will in Addison Township. Bruce watches that pretty close, along with their treasurer and the people that run that operation over there in the township. And guess what the bill was for? Mowing deck.
A mowing deck.
Yeah, a wheel. One of the wheels, they were mowing along, all of a sudden the wheel goes right alongside the lawnmower. So they decided that
Rather than
it's time to
chase the
replace
wheel,
it.
they bought a new one.
Bought a new one. Yeah, it couldn't be repaired because it was
Well,
bad. I
probably
don't know if they
gall-
ran over the wheel.
Well, it
Might
probably
have.
galled out. That's why it fell off.
Why?
Hmm?
Why was that again?
Didn't it gall out or something and fall off, or did the bolt just release?
Takes a lot of gall. I don't know.
I see.
Okay. So anyway, that's the money that was expensed out. Rod Blazik also pointed out that he provided oil and gasoline for the machine.
Oh.
So it's nice. They do a lot of that kind of stuff out there. Dig down, where it's needed, they pull out the money and provide it. So anyway, that took care of the bills, really low bills. They need to increase their expenses over there for some reason. New business. Well, I say well, at Arnold School. Remember they were talking about putting in a pump? Hand pump?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that won't work
Oh.
because the health department says, no way, can do that.
It wasn't called a hand pump. What
No,
was it called?
yeah, one of those.
Yeah, but you had the name.
Yeah, but you took the note. See where this is going, folks, right?
Nonetheless, we're calling it a hand pump now.
It's a hand pump. One of those that you make go up and down, water comes out.
You have to prime those?
Yeah, you have to prime them.
Okay.
You do. Yeah, but they're not going to have that type of well because they can't do it. Health department.
Oh, they can, but they won't.
Too many stringent controls. So they said, well, what about putting in an actual well and an actual electrical pump inside the building? They said, well, that sounds like a great idea, and that's kind of the approach they're going to take to see if they can make this work. And then they're saying, well, maybe they can put a hydrant outside, which all they got
How
to
big
do
a
is.
pump are they planning?
It doesn't really require too big of a pump in order to have a hydrant on the outside. All you're doing is releasing the pressure and the water on the outside.
Yeah, but your
Yeah.
opening is a lot bigger.
No, you don't have to have one of these big fire hydrants where you run up to, with a great big hose on it.
So it looks more like a kitchen faucet,
Yeah,
or what?
it's going to be a pipe coming out of the ground, probably about a 2.5-inch pipe, more likely.
Okay.
And then it'll have a pressure release, on it with a nozzle, that you can hook up to, or you can spray all over the
Ju-
ground if you want.
Just in
That's
case,
how it works.
just in case things catch fire.
Yeah, just in case. And I don't think that
Nonetheless-
little hose will make the difference.
No, but a tanker truck would.
Yeah, and actually out there, they pull most of their water anyway from the lakes.
Okay.
The fire department does. And by the way, there's another good group out there in Addison Township Fire Department.
Yeah, they
do-
are.
Yeah. They've pumped those lakes dry, I tell you, folks.
Not that they have that many fires out there, but yeah, they,
Yeah, you got fish flopping on
they have a
the-
lot of resource. Let's put it that way.
Right. Well, they did take care of the speckle fish over there in the ponds. So, anyway, they
That
did
was
that.
a spotty story.
It was a spotty story, and the fire department came along, had to use the water, and there they are, walking fish now. Anyway, not the case.
Sounds like one of those old sci-fi movies.
Right. Well, the fish aren't spotted anymore. They fixed that, but that was in another story. And we'll continue with this story when we come back, right after this, folks. Minutes, I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we are talking about the Parks and Recreation in Addison Township. And we just went through new business, which they're going to put water, at the school. at that
Yeah, that
Arnold
one.
School.
Yeah, that one.
That one. Okay. Anyway, they said, well, there's another project that we need to look at. He said, Lake George. Remember we talked about grading, providing dirt for that?
Oh,
So he said, well, let's contact Eric Eisenhart. Yeah, he's the guy with the dirt, and have him dump about 5 yards of dirt over there.
he likes the dish of dirt.
Yeah, he dishes the dirt. Yep. And they said, well, once the dirt is dropped off, let's have a ranger session where we bring them over. Everybody bring a shovel, including Smokey the Bear, if you're there, and level it out. And actually, they have a tractor that'll do that. So they're going to take care of that part of it. Let me see what happened here. Chuck says there needs to be a barrier. He said for automobiles in the parking lot. He said otherwise they're going to run up on the grass and damage the grass and lawn.
Talking railroad ties or something? Or
Well, actually they're talking about split rail fence, which is what Bruce Pearson suggested. And he said too, he has access to these great big boulders. He said it's possible they could use those. So anyway, so they're going to come up with some solution to that. So you folks stay off the grass. If you happen to get hung up on a boulder, well, you know what happened. But
It
don't
did
go
its
on the
job.
grass. It did its job. Okay, and he said also that there's a couple of poles that need to be replaced on the dock at Slating Lake. And he
Okay.
said that's another thing that's going to be taken
Well,
care of.
docks
So you
always
folks
need
out there.
maintenance, yeah.
Yep. So just so that you walk out on the dock and the dock doesn't cave in, this will keep it from doing that. And they're going to fix it. Markers. Remember we talked about markers? Beware of the poison ivy. This is a skunk. Don't pet him. This is a porcupine. Leave him alone. This is a bear. Don't pet the baby bears.
Private property?
Private property.
You went too far.
Yeah. You are standing in quicksand. Not a good thing. So anyway, so they're going to put these little signs all over, and actually a little less humorous signs they're going to put up.
Oh, well.
I don't know. This is a burning bush. I don't know.
You're going to try to identify plants and stuff, or what?
I think they will for certain kinds, particularly poison ivy. I think you might want to do that. This is poison ivy.
That
Don't
makes
sit in the
itself
poison
known
ivy.
soon enough.
It could be, yeah, later on. So anyway, so this is
It's the
something.
stinging nettles that make it immediate.
Yeah, you would know all about that.
You betcha.
We don't have time to tell people though, but that's for another story.
Joy of
folks.
my youth.
Yeah, right. Next thing they talked about was quotes for a shed. Remember they were at Arnold Building going to build a shed?
Mm-hmm.
So they actually have gone out for bids, and the building they've decided is a 24 by 30
Okay.
building.
Cement floor?
Going to be a cement floor. It's going to have overhead doors of 8 by 7 overheads. And
Doors?
Yeah, doors.
Front and back?
Yeah, front and back, I believe. Okay, I think there's 2. Yeah, overhead door. No, maybe only 1. All right, let's spread a rumor. There's going to be 2 doors.
But one's a backup.
One's a backup could be. But anyway, 1 for sure. They're going to have 1 for sure. Anyway, they had a bid from Home Depot for $6,300. And then they had one from Menards for $5,216 to $6,416.
For
So
garage door.
there's a range.
Oh.
No, this is for the shed. It's a kit.
Oh, the shed itself, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but they would have to go and pick up the shed.
All right.
Bruce Pearson says, hey, I have an idea. I said, what's that? He said, the Amish. The Amish, they'll actually bring the materials in, build it and everything.
We just have to Shanghai the Amish.
Right, kidnap them. But he said that should be no problem. Should be able to
Where are
kidnap
the
'em.
Amish?
You know what? He knows where everybody's at.
I guess. I always thought they were in kind of like southern Michigan, down around
Yeah.
Jackson, those areas.
I tell you, he can bring them in from. I mean, he's used them before. He said,
Okay.
for different projects. He said they do expert work, which I know they do.
I think the
I've seen their
furniture
work.
at the Celtic Knot over in Lakeville was actually built by the Amish.
Might have been,
Oh,
you know. But anyway, so he said, let's go to them. And actually, Ed Brakefield could be a good contact for them because he has connections, with the Amish. I didn't know that. Did you know that?
I don't know, he probably owes them something. I don't know.
I don't think Ed owes them anything. I think Ed is pretty frugal, but I
Yeah.
don't think he owes them anything.
Oh, that's good, that's good.
Okay, so anyway, so they thought that was a great idea, and they're going to check with the Amish, and they have an Amish shed going up.
Yeah, have a barn raising.
Yeah, you never know. And for the same price it might cost for a kit. Who knows? Anyway, they'll find out, and we'll let you know as soon as we know. They said also, let's paint the barn at Lake George. And later, they said after it's all painted and everything, we'll go inside and we'll insulate it with foam. You've seen the foam insulation that they spray inside these buildings?
No.
No? You haven't seen them? It's pretty good stuff.
I've seen them in
Really
I've
insulates.
seen them in motorhomes.
Yep. Well, this is kind of envision this as a really big motorhome
Okie
without
dokie.
wheels. Okay. But they do that for homes too. Let me see. Chuck said, let's have a newsletter. He said he's got several ideas for listings in the newsletter he wants to provide. He's inviting also park members or rangers to provide input for the letter as well, you know, because they have great ideas out there. And by the way, you folks interested in being a park ranger in Addison Township, they're always looking for additional new rangers. First thing they do is have you wrestle with the bear. If you win, then you're in. That's the way it works, I think.
I want to be an Addison Park Ranger.
Yeah, right. And right up front. Then the public was asked, is there anything from the public? And they said, hey, well, I'd like to speak. And so a gentleman stood up. He says, are you going to have any more trails, or is this it? And Bruce Pearson, I think, spoke at that point. And he said, no, he said that would be in the plan. And then they discussed that for a while and what they planned on doing. So there's going to be more trails, which means more signs.
And Gene Autry.
And
Happy
you know,
trails
happy
to
trails.
you.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of people who ride horses out there.
Oh, yeah.
So it really makes it nice. So that's it with Addison Township Parks. Now let's discuss a few things with that Tom McDonald wants to bring forward at the village as a village president for Leonard.
Tom?
Or I'm sorry, Tom. I'm going to change your name to Tom, Mike. Mike McDonald.
We do that a lot here.
Yeah, we do, yeah. Now, like Fred over here next to me, I mean, he's always bringing up things like that. Or is it George this week? I'm not sure.
No.
Anyway,
That was that other guy.
that was the other guy. So anyway, that being said, anyway, Tom McDonald, you know who you are, Mike. Okay, Elmwood Street reconstruction. He said it's going to begin 2017 and hopefully be completed by 2017, the end of the year. He's seeking municipal capital improvement bond for it, and he has to match $507,000 roughly in order to make this happen through MDOT and through their road program.
So this is paving and curbs and all that other good stuff
Yeah.
that goes with it.
Right, out on Elmwood Street or
That's the main
road.
street there.
That's the main street.
That's the main drag.
It is the main drag, also known as, what is the other road? Leonard Street, I guess. Some
When-
people call it that.
When you go afield.
When you go afield. All right. Anyway, so he said the goal of that, of course, is to repair the base and then, of course, provide efficient drainage, because there is a real issue with drainage along there. Can you say flood? Well, you know floods well out there.
So they're going to have put pumps in or what?
No pumps, I don't think. I think it's all in the grading process, what they do.
Okay.
They're going to raise it another 18 feet high or something
Oh.
along that line. But
That'll solve it.
yeah, that's another rumor, folks. It probably won't be that tall. And then he said the project will extend east from Whitehead Street to the eastern village boundary. That's how far that road will be repaired, correct? And I think there's over a mile that's going to be repaired. And by the way, there will also be downtown curbing.
Is this existing, or is all of it existing paved road?
Yeah, but it's
or
going to
is
be
there-
all turned up.
But none of it is actually dirt road right now?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just that it's become, pretty well beat up over the years and due to water damage, that kind of thing. But downtown is going to have new curbing put in, drainage, of course, taken care of, and sidewalks, repaired also. So
Okay.
those are some of the
Big
things.
project.
Yeah, it is. And we'll tell you more when we come back right after this. Hi, I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Terry Stiles. Did you know that Charter Channel 191 and AT&T Channel 99 are the only television stations you can find all the events and news just for you?
Oxford News This Week is your news closer to home. Catch us right here weekdays at noon, 6:30, and 11 p.m., and weekends at noon and 11 p.m. See you there.
Ta-da!
We're done.
Did it.
Welcome back to Minutes by Minutes. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we are talking about what's going on actually with the village president has asked us to speak about some things in Leonard.
That's true. Tom, right?
Yeah, we changed his name to Tom, didn't we?
Right.
Mike. Okay, Mike. But let's also talk about the Rochester road construction. That's going to be a big one.
That's the one that comes in from Lakeville.
Yep. It'll be closed. Road will be closed from June until November. Just so you
Didn't they
folks
do
out
this
there.
before?
Yeah, but the other end through Edison, through Lakeville, and up through that area. But this is
Oh, okay.
this is actually through Leonard,
Okay.
through that area. And in order to accomplish this, the project is to replace 2 road culverts on Elmwood Street North to Boardman Road. That's, for you folks out there, Elmwood Street North to Boardman Road. So those roads are it's going to be worked on. Rochester Road. Project replaced 2 road culverts, replaced about 1 mile of Rochester Road, and to widen the road, aprons, the side of the road, going to widen those 2.
Oh, you're going to put a paved shoulder on it, or what?
They're going to, I think they are going to pave a certain width. I think it's only like 3 feet, 4 feet or so.
Yeah. How much does a
but
bicycle
They wanted
need?
a path, but they couldn't get a path.
How much does a bicycle need?
I don't know. How do you need a bicycle? I don't know. Anyway, bicycle, I have no idea. But you can't ride that close to the road anyway, and they were looking for a kind of like a safety path that, NOTA would do. And they were going to hold that.
That who would do?
Who would do? What voodoo they would do?
Did you say NOTA?
No, not NOTA. MDOT.
MDOT.
Did I say NOTA?
You did.
Oh, well, Tom would appreciate this, wouldn't you, Mike?
NOTA's going, hey, we don't have that in our budget.
No, not this year. But can you say taxes? No.
Sorry about that,
work.
Lynn.
It wouldn't work. We spread rumors anyway. Okay, so anyway, they're going to have level 2 road beds. Going to have 2 road beds that they're going to level, because right now there's a hill there, and the site, as you're coming over, you can't spot people coming the other direction. So they're going to make it safety by correcting that. Cost estimate is roughly about $2 million to do this project, folks out there.
That's not chump change.
No, not chump change. And its estimated time of completion, I said, was in June to November. So you're going to be down for a while, and you're going to be looking at detours. You're right, and there's going to be a couple of them, because there is on July 16th.
Detour means you're going to take detour of
Detour.
another area of Addison Township.
You're going to see detour of the grasslands, detour of the gravel, detour of the sand. Lots of detour.
That's
okay. And the first one is going to be, you're going to see local roadside properties, for example. Folks are saying, yeah, but we want to be able to get out. Well, you will be able to. They'll have a way that you can get out. Helicopter lift. No. Anyway, so you will have a path that you can travel, to get out of your property.
If you have a
Others,
horse.
others will be involved in the detour, and that will be East Elmwood to Secord Lake Road, then to Boardman Road. Now listen to this.
We should have
And
visuals
then
for
to,
this,
We should. And then to, these folks out there know where they're at, though. And then to Rochester Road, just north of Boardman. And that's how you get over to Rochester. So, but Strawberry Festival, what do those folks do? And that's coming up in July 6th.
That's right.
And
That's the big one.
you don't want to miss it, except there could be detours out there. Detour of the sand, detour of we went through that. Anyway, and the detour will be Frick Road to Hagerman, and then to Leonard Road.
There'll be
then
little
to-
signs with strawberries on them to lead you through.
Yeah, then to Secord Lake Road,
Holy,
then to
Moly.
Boardman Road. Now,
you could end up in Romeo with this one.
you could, but you're going to want to make it to the Strawberry Festival, because that's a lot of fun, I got to tell you. It is. And lots
So
of
there
good
you are in
things to
Romeo
eat.
going, where's my strawberries?
Where's
Sorry,
my
bud, we
strawberries?
got peaches here.
Yeah, they went that away. I don't know. Could be even tacos by the time they get there, right? Fajitas. Anyway, they said that also that access to the Watershed Park, you can't get there. You have to go from Boardman Road due to the culvert that's going to be changed in that area. So you have to change the route. So make sure before you
Take
start
notes,
on your
there'll be
trip.
questions later.
Make sure before you start on your route that you, excuse me, do all the analytical work in advance, that you pack a really big lunch, you fill up your car with gas, and then you head for the first arrow where it says detour,
Detour.
because you're now on detour. Right. So that's what's going to be going on over there in Leonard.
Yeah. Which is to say that your GPS could lead you astray.
It could. That stray, that's whatever. So anyway, there was one good thing in this, and that is the Leonard Department of Public Works, Leonard Department of Public Works, the DPW. They want to thank all you folks out there for having patience. And I said, they haven't seen patience yet. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a mess, but it's going to be nice when it's all finished, guys. So, like my old uncle used to fix cars.
Outside of any colorful statements that may be issued.
Right, my old uncle used to fix cars, and he'd always say, it always looks worse before it looked better, and you know it did. And this is going to make it look better in the long run. If you have questions, by the way, call 248-701-1562 and ask.
Is that Tom's number?
Yeah, that would be Tom's X number. Now his name is Mike. So you can contact him there for any other information. That's it pretty much for the little town of Leonard. I wanted to make one other statement here, and they did have a meeting with the village council last week
Of Oxford?
of Oxford, and they discussed a couple of elements. One was real estate services for the village properties, and one of the properties is Burdick Street, 18 Burdick Street and 22, which is the administrative buildings. They want to sell that. There was a real estate company that came forward that said they could handle this, and they did an evaluation of the property. The evaluation, they said, was good from the last evaluation that was given to the village, and that was $500,000 evaluation.
That's all the property and the buildings?
That's everything you see there on that site. They also did an estimate for Glassby Street, 98 Glassby Street, because you know that that particular deal that they had fell through.
Oh, that's
for the
true. That was supposed to be,
condominium
what,
project.
76 condominiums by
Right.
Mr. Schneider?
Yep, you're right, Mr. Snyder, and that fell through, so they want it reevaluated, and guess what? They came back at $250,000 evaluation.
Huh.
Now that's a great deal because
That's a
they
nice
paid
piece of change.
$725 for it way back, what, 2009, I think, 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, boy,
It's a good
talk about
investment.
appreciation, huh? That would do it. So anyway, so it was given to this real estate company to go ahead and search for potential buyers for this property.
Just as long as it doesn't involve 76 condominiums.
That's exactly right, and they made it very clear that that wasn't probably the best usage for it.
Was there a magic number, by the way?
A magic number? There's no such thing in real estate.
No, but in terms of the number of units that would be allowed. I think they had a big argument about
There
that.
is.
76 was too much.
There
but-
is, but that's usually done during the planning stage, and establishing
Or the
site plan.
rejection stage.
Yeah, or the rejection stage. It's done through the planning commission, that
that's
phase
true.
of it. So depending on what the use is. So anyway, so that's what went down. The other thing is inspection services and fees were offered by the township. Bill Dunn, the supervisor of the township, made a gracious offer to handle it for the village because the village has some issues in providing proper information to the people that are seeking permits.
And after
that
all,
kind of thing.
people in the village pay what? Township taxes.
They do. And Bill is just offering it, as a service,
Mm-hmm.
rather than have the village have to relearn everything or have an individual try to come up to speed, which would probably be, you can live long enough to do it.
Now,
With that being said, what's coming up?
we do have meetings. On 5/17 at 7 o'clock, the Addison Township Fire Board will be meeting. And at 7 o'clock the same day, the Village of Oxford Planning Commission. On 5/18 at 3 o'clock, the Pollyant Trail Management Council will be meeting at Rowland Hall in Leonard.
All right.
Yep. At 6:30 that same day, Oxford Board of Education will be meeting at the board offices, and there'll be a budget workshop. On 5/19 at 4:30, NODA will be meeting at the Oxford Township offices. And on 5/23 at 4 o'clock, our parent organization, the Oxford Area Cable Communications Commission, will be meeting at 4 o'clock in the Village of Oxford offices, and will be meeting there from now on. We won't be rotating like nomads.
That's great. Now, one thing I did want to make clear is that in the last program that we had, I said that village council members were coming up for election or primary on August 2nd. Not true. They're not going to be on the August 2nd primary. The people that are running will be strictly on the November ballot. However, the township, people running for trustee, and the other offices primary is August 2nd. Don't miss it. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
We'll catch you right here next time on Minutes by Minute.
See you then.